Hey guys, so today I want to talk about how most people approach their careers by playing an existing game. A game where the rules are well defined, there's existing competition, and the odds of success are stacked against them. These are games that have been around for a long time, where there are tons of people competing for limited spots at the top of the hierarchy. When we approach our careers this way, it's like jumping into a big pond with massive fish already battling for dominance. And when we enter, we're just a small fish struggling to stand out. With this type of game, it's very hard to win, unless you're lucky enough to have the perfect conditions to thrive in that specific pond. But what if, instead of competing in a space where the odds aren't stacked in our favor, we created our own game, one that's defined by the unique combination of skills that we bring? If we're able to stack rare complementary skills, we're able to redefine the game, where we're no longer fighting to survive in someone else's crowded waters. So what the second strategy does, we redefine the pond in our favor, and we redefine it into a space where someone with our unique skill sets are best positioned to do well.
For today.
Yeah. So my first point is that it's pretty hard to become really good in a field that's already well defined. Because it's well defined, there are so many people who have aspirations to be the best in that field. It's a field that's already crowded and it's been existing for a long time. So before we even learn how to start, the game already exists, right? And there's already people gunning for the same prize who want to excel in that field. There's lots of competition and lots of people trying to do well, training very hard. And with that kind of dynamic, when everyone tries to do well, it's those that have the best methods, who work the hardest, and have the best talents and environments that succeed. So those who have the best conditions to thrive in a game, well, by definition, they're going to thrive. They're going to thrive and excel, right? The problem is if the game is arbitrary, or if it's defined by somebody else, or if it's not geared in our favor, then it's going to be pretty hard to thrive, unless we're lucky. So let me give you some examples. So say if I simply wanted to be the best programmer in the world, that would be really difficult. One, because there are so many programmers, and because it's so broadly defined, there are so many people playing that game, and it's very unlikely that we're going to be in the top percentiles. Same with wanting to be the best accountant or wanting to be the best lawyer, etc., etc., etc. It's quite a general and a broad thing to want to be the best at, which is the problem. The alternative I'm suggesting is, instead of being the very best in a single domain, we want to be very good in multiple complementary domains. And when we're very good in multiple things and we combine those, it makes us extremely unique. And the problems we're able to solve and the areas that we can apply this combination to, there won't be that much competition. I understand this with probability. So say I want to be the top percentile of a certain field. To be in the top 1%, that by definition is only accessible for the top 1% of all the players of the game, or everyone who has aspirations in that field. So it's pretty unlikely. And that goes with the example where we're playing an existing game. But if I merely wanted to become in the top 20% of a field, that's much more achievable, right? I want to be in the top 20%. 1 in 5 people who play a game are in the top 20% by definition. Here's what happens when you find complementary skills, and in each of them, you can be in the top 20%. If I have 3 complementary skills and I'm in the top 20% of them, and they're complementary in a way that they're going to help me solve a unique problem where somebody needs those 3 skills, the probability of finding somebody with that combination would be 20% to the power of 3, which ends up being 0.008, which is less than 1%. That's how rare it is that someone's going to have a combination of 3 skills, where in each of those skills, they're in the top 20%. Now, if you're able to stack 4 complementary skills and you do the math, it comes out to 0.002, which works out to be 1 in 500. So yeah, the more skills we're able to stack and find people or problems or industries, fields to apply those skills, the more rare that combination is going to be, and it's going to position us very favorably. So pretty much the way the math works out is getting into the top 20 percentile of 3 complementary skills puts you in a better position of getting to the top 1 percentile of one skill. And the more skills we stack, the better and better it gets. So when we stack different skills, we narrow down the pool or the pond that we're playing in, because the only people who can play that game are the people with those combination of skills, right? And when we combine skills, there aren't as many people who have combination of skills as opposed to individual skills. However, what this actually does as well, though, is it might narrow down the places where we can apply it. It also narrows down the market, because we want to look for people who want that specific combination. But assuming we can find them, it allows us to position ourselves where we have a very unique and rare combination of skills, and we try and match it with someone who requires that skill set, and then we're one of the top contenders. We're one of the people who are uniquely positioned to serve that customer or solve that problem, however you want to put it. Yeah, so some examples. My wife teaches this specific Vietnamese rehab balance yoga. It's a more specific skill which regular yoga teachers wouldn't focus on. And in this tradition, most of the teachers, they all teach online. So they have the skill of teaching yoga online. Then there's a combination stack, which I reckon is pretty powerful. It's a form of yoga that's specifically done for rehab and injuries. 2, it's done online, so you can reach a large number of people, and it's for people who want to do it in the comfort of their own home. And it's for the specific type of people who would actually prefer to do yoga on a video call rather than in the studio. I think most people would be the other way around, but it's that type of niche that they're targeting. And if she's able to teach it in Australia, there's not many people who know about this yoga technique who can speak English and teach in English. So that's an example where if you're able to stack those 3 skills and find the group of people who require those skills, then there's not many people who are going to be competing for you. And an example for myself, I am studying the Pali language, which not many people do. I'm also a software engineer, so I can make web apps and I can make applications. And I've also had a lot of startup experience. So I'm trying to combine those 3 unique skills or experiences and try and make a product, because not many people who know the language or see the potential in a really good product and who are able to make the product. So that's what I'm trying to experiment with at the moment. So basically, what are some takeaways or action points? So the takeaway is to identify a few things. Skills that you already have and experience that you already have that are hard to get and they're complementary, as well as skills that you reckon you should develop because they will be complementary to your existing skill set. And not only skills, but think about like life experiences and languages, and your personality traits. And also things where, like, if you were to get good at something, it feels quite natural. Whereas for other people, they have to hustle really hard, or they'd have to become obsessive, where you might be able to do it naturally and in a balanced way. That's where you have a natural advantage. Think about what you are uniquely positioned to solve. Think about your work experience, your traditional work experience. What have you done in the past? The thing I want to emphasize is we have to think about ourselves and what we have to offer and our experiences, but it can't all be about me. We also have to think about and find problems that people are experiencing, and we need to use that unique combination to solve that problem. Anyway, I hope that was useful. So combine skills, life experiences, personality traits, and find problems that need that specific combination. You'll be in a very good position to solve them. And yeah, I hope that was useful, and see you next time.